It is now time for game number 2 as Marian looks the doubleheader sweep as they hit the halfway marker of the Crossroads League softball season after a 7-3 win in game number 1. These two teams meet again on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Jim Leisure, Greg Rakestraw with you. Most of the lineups largely the same. Pitchers will be different, and in the circle for Marian is Macy Cohn. Cohn getting her 15th start of the campaign. Her ERA 3.03. She has thrown 60 innings. She has thrown 5 complete games. 2 of those have been shutouts. She has walked 7. She has struck out 30. And opposing batters batting .260 against Macy on the season. Jim, your thoughts before game number 2 goes live?
Well, we saw Macy Cohn a couple days or weeks ago, or last week, I guess, when Kelsey Casper and I were here the second game of the Grace series, and she's an effective pitcher. She likes to work ahead, as good pitchers generally do. And, you know, again, it just depends on which hitters we see from St. Francis. They were literally dormant for the first 3 innings, and then they exploded for 3 runs and really gave the Knights fits even toward the end of the game with runners on base. So we'll see which team shows up.
Cohn, a sophomore from Eastern High School in Howard County in the Kokomo area. Slips on pitch number 1. Doesn't affect the overall outcome. And the count is 0-1. She'll take a moment to do a little doctoring of the circle where her plant leg comes down. Haley Green does some excavating for her as well. Peyton Iliff, who had the 3-run home run that produced all the runs in game number 1 for St. Francis. She was 1 for 3 with a run scored, 3 RBI and a walk. They'll give Cohn a pitch to make sure that the plant conditions are what she hopes it would be.
Field in fairly good shape, I think, overall. Just a matter of getting that one little spot, that landing spot.
Popped up, and Lily Wendt, who was the DP in game 1, she gets to be the first baseman in game number 2, makes the first play. Robakowski, third baseman, now coming up here for St. Francis. Robakowski was 1 for 4 with a single in game number 1. Round ball, shortstop's got it. Malone over to Wendt, quickly 2 down. And Macy Dowd, who was the first baseman in game number 1, now will be the DP for St. Francis in game number 2. She made the final out of the game, or next to final out of the game, I should say. Was 1 for 4 with a double in the previous contest. And this one sent foul. Defensive changes for Marian. So game number 2, Roop. Caroline Roop, the senior from Carmel, is the catcher. Meyer will become the DP. That's been the norm for Grace over the last few years. Wendt comes in for the DP to play first, and Minix goes from first to center field. Means that Pritchett's available off the bench in this game. Fastball in for a strike. Count goes to 0-2.
Well, we said she liked to work fast. She got 2 outs on 3 pitches, and now up 0-2.
Misses high. You know, of the stats that we rattled up before the beginning of this game, has walked just 7 batters in 60 innings, but an opposing batters hitting .260 off of Cohn. So again, they know to expect to get something to hit. Does here. Minix comes in and has to go back. That ball to the base of the wall. That will be a double for Dowd.
Macy Dowd with a really good piece of hitting. Always, again, it's tough to bat when you're 0-2. You got to battle back a little bit, but not only does she battle back, but she does it with a vengeance. Drives the ball over Minix's head in center field and hustles her way into second base. So St. Francis got a little bit of a rally here. 2-out rally, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Once again, you don't have to worry about line drives or scoring on anything hit to the outfield.
Round ball. Cohn fields her position, and the inning is over. So no damage done from the double by Dowd a moment ago. St. Francis nothing, and Marian coming to bat. Let's go through the Marian lineup. Again, it's going to sound very similar to game number 1. Hoffman will lead things off, the left fielder. Brooke Knox moves from the bottom of the lineup to the number 2 position for the Knights. Madeir, Went, Meyer, Minix, Green, 3 through 7. Those players are all the same spots. Roop comes in to bat 8th, and then Malone will drop the number 9 position. Malone had a couple of really good at-bats, had a single and a double, and a pair of runs batted in the 7-3 win for Marian. Pitching in this game for St. Francis will be Maddie Tompkins. Maddie getting her 7th start of the season. Maddie, a 3-3 record, an ERA of 3.78. She has thrown 33 1/3 innings on the season. She has walked 12. She has struck out 19. Opposing batters are batting .328 on the season against Maddie, who is a junior from South Ripley High School in Versailles, Indiana. Only defensive change in the lineup for St. Francis. Schott was the DP in game number 1. Dowd was the first baseman. They literally swap roles in game number 2. That's it. Other defenders in the same spots as they were just an hour or so ago. So here's Hoffman, former Roncalli Royal. Went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. And that misses just outside of the zone. Also inside. Hoffman batting .423. She has now started all 30 games this year. Went, Hoffman, and Madeir have had their name in the lineup in every game. A little high. All around the zone for Tompkins. And the count goes to 3-0. In for a strike. Hoffman's double earlier was her 10th of the season. That's 4 home runs and 24 runs batted in and a team-high 13 steals. And draws the walk. So Hoffman aboard. And now Knox to the plate. Knox batting .242. I would imagine Hoffman's going to get a look at second base here. Couple of stolen bases last game for Marian. Hoffman, 1 pitch to observe. That's in for a strike. And Coach Fleming, who we talked to briefly between games, was admiring the warmth of the press box. Knox puts it down. Third baseman charges. Good job by the second baseman to cover. Hoffman just wanted off the bag, but nothing going there. Successful sacrifice. Runner in scoring position, 1 down.
Played difficult to defend, obviously, and again, I thought that St. Francis did a good job of rotating 2 players to cover third base to keep Hoffman from going second to third. You see a lot of times when the third baseman charges that nobody covers third, and you'll see a girl go from second to third.
Slow rolling ground ball and textbook by Robakowski. You glance the runner back, throw it over to first base. No advance, 2 down. So here's Lily Went. Lily saw her average drop to .484 on the season. She reached twice, but was not credited with a base hit in her plate appearances. Team high 33 runs batted in for the former Bishop Chittard Trojan. At the knees for a strike. Third different pitcher that St. Francis used. Huth got the first 3+ innings. I thought Sauter was really good in relief for St. Francis in game 2. Pitcher's got it. Quick toss over to first, and the inning is over, so nothing comes at a leadoff walk. Scoreless for the first inning of game number 2 as you're watching Crossroads League Softball on ISC.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, It's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Look inside the St. Francis dugout. They sent 4 to the plate in the top half of the first inning. 5, 6, and 7. Minnick, Smith, and McCord do up this time through. Serber and Vigiano round out the batting 9. Again, it is the same 9 players that came to the plate. We saw a couple of pinch hitters. Miller amongst those for St. Francis in game number 1. So Minnick from Central Catholic High School in Lafayette. In for strike. Minnick drew a walk, struck out once, was 0 for 2 in game number 1. Off the end of the bat, and that will drop for a base hit. Just flared one out to shallow left field. And the leadoff batter aboard for St. Francis.
Well, the old saying, they all look like line drives in the box score, so the hit's hit.
I've been known to use that phrase frequently.
Yeah.
Smith to the plate. She drew a couple of walks. Tries to put the bunt down. Foul ball. Foul ball. Smith does see her number moved up a couple of places in the batting lineup. She went from 8th to 6th for game number 2.
And we talked about that again. She did get 2 walks. Doesn't necessarily raise the batting average, but the on-base percentage raises. And so, you know, again, if you're a coach, you just want to get your kids that are getting on and getting over and getting in a little higher in the batting order.
Tries to put the bunt down. Green, full sprint. They'll give the runner second base. They'll throw behind her, but luckily center fielder and Minnick's doing her job. So successful sacrifice. Runner at second, 1 down. So now here's McCord, a senior from Avon. McCord singled and scored in the 3-run 5th of game number 1. 1 for 3 for the game. These two teams will meet the last day of the regular season, Saturday, April 26th, up in Fort Wayne. In for a strike. And talking with Coach Fleming earlier, he was optimistic that, as we would say here in the vicinity of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, there's a window over Terre Haute for the game against Huntington on Friday up in Huntington. That's foul ball. Hard hit, but foul. 1-2 the count. Not as optimistic about getting the doubleheader against the Maple Leafs of Goshen in on Saturday.
Yeah, you know, coaches in the spring, all spring sports probably, become part-time meteorologists. They got to know where the rains are coming from and when and how long, and it helps to have a source that you trust.
Count of 2-2.
McCord with just the slightest separation in her hands there, a little back control.
Popped up. Cone will field her position. 2 down. Now Serber will come to the plate. Serber saw 2 at-bats and struck out both times. She was pinch hit for her 3rd time through the lineup. Freshman from Clinton Central. At the knees, inside corner for a strike.
Really good location there. That is a difficult pitch to get around on. Now, if a hitter does, then they can drive it down the left field line and run for days.
Popped up and out of play. And the count at 0-2.
More likely than not, though, they'll hit it right off the top of their hands and pop up to the pitcher. Somewhat the way that Brooklyn McCord did it in the previous at-bat.
Again, fouled straight back. Well, Cone off to a much better start than her last 2 outings where she has really struggled. Up 7 runs in an inning and 2/3 against Indiana Wesleyan. 5 runs in an inning and a third against Taylor. And that's as far as she went in both of those games. Hop to home plate. Cone went the distance on spring break and games against Kaiser and Trinity Christian. League play against Mount Vernon, Nazarene, and Bethel. Popped up, and again, it'll reach the seats.
Courtney Serber making this an at-bat. You know, at-bats are precious. You know, you're lucky if you get 4 a game. You're probably going to get 3, and you got to make every one of them count.
Count remains 1-2. 2-2. Good heads-up base running. Minnick saw that ball was in the dirt and just immediately booked it to third base.
I like it. I've always liked to be very aggressive on the base pass. I think it puts pressure on the defense and really a lot of pressure on the pitcher, too.
Full count.
Boy, if Serber can come through here, not only does St. Francis get a run, but what an at-bat this would be.
Lifts this one. Left fielder was playing shallow, but has plenty of space to drift back and make the play. That's Hoffman, and the inning is over. So St. Francis will strand one at third. 0-0 through an inning and a half as you're watching on ISC.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
Want to thank our friends at Indiana Members Credit Union. Proud to support Marian University. Now offers a Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com.
Special shout out to my buddy Ron Collier, who used to
Absolutely
be the man. I don't know if he still is or not. Certainly Ron has earned the right to retire. I don't know whether or not he's there yet or not, but Ronnie, if you're still working at IMCU, hello.
Meyer watches that go by for a bell tie strike. Meyer behind the plate in game number 1, just to focus on hitting in game number 2. 1 for 3, a double and a run scored, and had a pair of RBIs as well. Lifts this one. It will just get down towards the batting cage. And the count at 0-2. Hop to home plate.
And Greg, I know you know Ron Collier, but I didn't know if you knew he was a very accomplished official.
Very much so.
At one time was pretty highly ranked in Indiana high school football.
Meyer swing and a miss. First strikeout for Tompkins. And there's one down. Here's Minix, first baseman in game 1, center fielder here in game number 2. Count at 2-0.
Looking for something to barrel up or don't swing.
Pitcher's pitch. That's in for a strike. 2-1 to count.
Yeah, again, if you would have swung at that, you probably would have hit it off your fist. Just off your hand, and popped it up to the third baseman or the pitcher, so no swing. Hitting, though difficult, is not that complicated, really.
Right over the outside corner.
And again, another great pitcher's pitch. I mean, you swing at that, you probably ground out the second baseman. You got to wait on the pitcher to make a little bit of mistake.
And that one will.
Cue ball foul there.
Yep.
But you want the pitcher to make a little bit of a mistake and leave it just over the plate a little bit more than she intends. And that's when you make them pay.
Second baseman, Serber, charges Minix, hustling, and she's safe. Well, she may have even beaten the throw even before the bobble by the first baseman. Either way, Minix is aboard.
Yeah, just a difficult play. Ball not hit hard. It's just kind of spinning in the dirt. And Serber comes up, and she would have been safe even if she'd gloved it.
So an infield single for Minix. Great job by our crew to show that to you. Green.
And a big cut there. That's a Ruthian swing there.
Green 2 for 3 with a pair of singles in the previous game.
There is a fairly large gap in right center, and if she'd have contacted that, that's exactly where that ball was going.
A little low. Green has bumped that batting average up to 254. 14 runs batted in. Top of the zone there. Strike 2 call.
I kind of like Tompkins' approach here. She's off to a pretty good start.
Laced foul. Green now has a 6-game hitting streak going. In the win against Indiana Wesleyan in game 1 on Friday, she went 3 for 3 with a pair of runs scored. Pitcher may not get any out of this one. Yep. Was thinking too, as well she should have, where that ball was hit, and doesn't get any.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, again, she gets the pitch that she wants and she gets the result. And you're right, thinking too, but just ball just kind of spins out. And then after that, don't throw it around. You're not going to get anybody at first base. Don't risk an error and that kind of thing.
Caroline Roop. And we've seen Caroline now for the last years, this Marian program. And last time we called one of her games, at least that I did, was last May. And I'd forgotten. She comes up to the Shane O'Mac WWF theme music. That one sails high, 1-1 the count. Somewhere Alec DeFord is smiling, thinking of that. Line drive gets through for a base hit. Wave around from third. Throw not in time. And for a second game in a row, Marian breaks through in the bottom half of the second inning.
Also, the inability to get the lead runner there on the previous batter, Haley Green, comes back to kind of haunt the St. Francis Cougars. You see that ball bounding into center field, and Jenna Minix just turning the Jets on.
Ground ball, shortstop, gets one at second. On to first, not in time. Malone hustling down the bag. And again, it's so tough to turn 2 in this sport. But Roop is retired. By the way, that single for Roop, her 5th RBI of the season. Came in batting 192 on the season at Caroline. So Hoffman. Runners in the corners. And 2 down. Runner takes off for second. They'll simply give that bag to Malone. And now Hoffman get a base hit. Likely 2 runners will score.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to be if you're a coach. You got your 1, 2, possibly 3. Runners in second and third. Opportunity to put a crooked number up.
Hoffman walked her first time through. And this is why, as a runner, you are in foul territory.
Absolutely.
Because that ball hits her on the other side of the line. That's the third out of the inning. Green showing some serious vertical to get out of the way of that one and get some good-natured stick on that one from her head coach and Coach Fleming. This one rolled over foul and no error by the coach in the coach's box.
I basically evolved in my coaching career, Greg, when I would just get out of the way. I didn't even try anymore. You come to a realization at some point where it's just better to get out of the way.
Liner into right field for a base hit. And that is a 2-out, 2 RBI single. And it's 3-0 Knights.
Well, like I said, that's where you want to be. I mean, runners in scoring position, the one hole up, just slaps a little, hit them where they ain't. Wee Willie Keeler reference there. And
this one down the right field line. Fair ball inside the line. That will be 2, and that will be another run. And then the throw got away from the second baseman. And so advancing will be Knox over to third base. Big inning for Marian. A perfectly placed double for Knox. Give Knox the run batted in. The error on the second baseman gives Knox a free 60 feet. Quick conversation for Tompkins inside of the circle. And this is reminiscent of the previous game where, again, you just kind of, you blink and all of a sudden it's a multi-run lead for Marian.
That ball down the right field line honestly could not have been thrown in a better spot.
Right.
Just inside the line.
We kind of saw that from our angle. He's like, that's going to drop.
Yeah.
And already bullpen activity getting underway for St. Francis. Kennedy Bione starting to get loose in the pen for the Cougars. Already seen 3 pitchers used. So here's Madere, ground ball to third base her last time up. And sprays that one to the tennis courts. Quick score update from baseball. IU Kokomo. Once trailing 5-1, now leads 9-5 in the bottom half of the 8th inning in that non-conference game. Count at 1-2. And we are scheduled to broadcast the Marian doubleheader on Saturday. And baseball against Mount Vernon Nazarene. Just missed. 2-2. Madere, the 8th batter to the plate this inning for Marian, number 3 in the lineup. And this one driven right center. That will be extra bases. Make it 5-0 Knights, and Madere has a stand-up double.
Good shot of the dugout there celebrating. And again, as we already know, these Knights can hit. And you make mistakes, they'll have a tendency to make you pay.
So the Knights bat around in inning number 2. Here's Wendt. Hit one back to the pitcher last time up. Second baseman Serber knocks it down, throws it over to first base, and the inning is over. But Marian puts a 5 spot on the board in inning number 2. To the top of the 3rd we go. You're watching Marian softball here on ISC.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Want to thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks to Vince Morales, Alex Laverne, David Kahn, Elijah Mash, Rob Lynch, Betsy Ramos, Aaron Van Wolde, and thank you to Charlie Hammock. Charlie pulling a triple header today. Was on the Query and Schultz crew this morning. Then was here for game number 1. He is on his way to Victory Field for the Indianapolis Indians season opener. They open up a series with the Iowa Cubs tonight.
Big night, opening night for the Indians, and again, the guaranteed 60-degree at first pitch. Probably not going to
They're not going to hit it, boss. No, I can tell you that right now.
So everybody gets a free
ticket. Come on back.
Yep, to another April game. So if you're there tonight.
Viggiano, Iliff, Robakowski. The trio due up this time through for the Cougars, 9-1-2. And for our viewers watching in St. Francis, I got to get to a game at Parkview Field at some point in time. I hear just wonderful things about the home of the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. This one lifted foul.
You know, as you drive around to other cities, it seems like, you know, Louisville has a very nice minor league stadium. Kokomo has a really nice minor league stadium right downtown, just next to Memorial Gym. They all kind of look like Victory Field, though. They all kind of look like it's the same architect.
Swing and a miss by Viggiano. And she is retired as a strikeout victim. She has had 3 plate appearances today. They have all ended in the same fashion. First strikeout for Cone. Well, partner, I referenced the fact that IU Kokomo is playing baseball here today. That is their home field.
Is it? I wondered if they played there. It's a neat place.
Iliff popped up last time up to Lily Went to lead off the game for St. Francis. Iliff, the native of Valparaiso. In for a strike, 1-1 the count. Unfortunately, the team that was the primary tenant at Kokomo Stadium is not playing this summer, and that is the Kokomo Jackrabbits. They're searching for a new team to potentially locate in there for next year. Also a strike, count at 1-2.
And I believe, is it the Gary Railcats that have a
Still
nice
play, yep.
Very, again,
right off of the
tollway there.
Tollway. Just missed. 2-2 the count.
But when I look at those places, I go, that's just Victory Field. It's a little bit smaller. You know, it seems like perhaps everyone's kind of stealing our idea.
That one obviously stuck in the hand of Cone that time. Full count. Victory Field will celebrate its 29th birthday in July. Popped up. Green on the hustle, but runs out of real estate.
Gotta love the battle here between Cohen and the number 1 hitter, Peyton Iliff. I mean, this is, again, just you don't want to get her on. You don't want to get the leadoff hitter on, basically number 1 hole, I guess I should say, not the leadoff hitter, because then 2-3 come up with an opportunity to knock her around.
Good battle here by Iliff.
And she's doing her job, which is be a pest. Try to get on any way you can.
And Iliff came into the day batting .299. That home run that she had earlier, her 6th of the season. Lengthy battle here.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat.
Foul tip back in the mitt. Roop hangs on to it. Back-to-back Ks by Cone. And there's 2 down.
So Cone wins it.
So Robakowski. Ground ball to short her last time up. And for a strike. St. Francis, again, weather permitting, will play host to Bethel on Friday. And they will go up to Spring Arbor on Saturday. Popped up and out of play. And again, I would think that in this case, going farther north actually kind of helps you a little bit in terms of avoiding the, well, it appears to be a biblical-like level of rain that could be happening south of us over the next 3 or 4 days.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Called strike 3. Well, Cone, her best inning of work in this game. Stake to a 5-run lead, home half of the third when we come back to Indianapolis as you're watching an ISC.
We jumped in immediately. We take a intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience. And the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
So pitching change coming up here for St. Francis after Tompkins got beat up in the second for 5. Kennedy Bione will be coming on to pitch here. She is a sophomore from Northern Kentucky, attended Highlands High School in Fort Thomas. Bione on the season, a 7 ERA. 2-1 is her record. This is her 8th appearance, half as a starter, half in relief. She has thrown 19 innings on the season. She has walked 8. She has struck out 3, and opposing batters batting .369 on the campaign. So Marian batted around last inning, which means that Grace Meyer will lead things off for a second go-round, and she struck out to begin the first inning.
Grace probably thinking, I have to go out there and redeem myself. Everyone else, it seemed like, got on or got a base hit or at least put the ball in play, a couple fielders' choices.
Another positional change for St. Francis. Vigione will exit, and Miller will go in her place in center field. So Miller in for Vigione, or Vigiano, I should say, in center. So Meyer to the dish. Lone strikeout victim that Tompkins had, and 13 batters faced. And the count is 0-1. So St. Francis makes a pitching change in the 4th inning in game 1, 3rd inning in game 2. Top of the zone for a strike. Counted 0-2.
Well, if Grace is going to redeem herself, she's going to have to fight her way back to do it.
Meyer hitting .359. Ground ball, that's going to be trouble. And the bounding ball gives Meyer a base hit. Even the shortstop made the play. You got to throw all the way across the diamond there. Oh, leadoff single for Meyer.
So there you go. She's like, there you go, loser, shut up. I did redeem myself.
Minix puts the bunt down and could not have placed it any better. That's a base hit. And then they throw behind Meyer. Meyer got involved in a rundown in the last time, and she'll be tagged out at second. No problem there. So a successful base hit for Minix. And then Meyer is thrown out at second base for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and you could see Coach Fleming, just a little bit disappointed, probably somewhat disgusted. You could see him kind of shaking his head like, come on, you can't, why? But it happens.
Swing and a miss. So here's Green. And reached an error and scored last inning. Ground ball. Shortstop will try to go the long way to get Green and got her. Great play. Good stretch by the first baseman as well.
Yeah, it really was a really nice play. Like you said, ranging all the way over into the hole was Brooklyn McCord, and then to be able to come up and fire a strike, and again, it's a good call by the umpire.
So here's Roop. Got the single in the RBI last time up. In for a strike. Roop getting her 14th game of the season. Came in 5 for 26. We count at 1-1.
No, it works.
Group, the senior from Carmel. Group has had kind of a similar role all 4 years she has been in college. She was Sydney Wilson's catcher 2 years ago. This is her second season being Macy Cohn's primary catcher. Ground ball, third baseman fires and makes the play, and the inning is over. So Meyer a leadoff single, and Minix a bunt base hit, but nothing comes of it. And through 3 at Marian. Knights lead at 5-0 as you're watching on ISC.
Hey, grab me one too.
Gym leisure is saving money important to you?
Absolutely.
Then you should visit Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is India's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations, the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employee, or friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights, go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933.
And it definitely is a family effort. I know the O'Briens from my years of coaching at Chittard and coached a couple of the O'Brien children. Great people, great family.
Cohn just needs one warm-up pitch. She'll face Dowd, then Schott and Minnick. Dowd doubled her last time up. That was a ball that Minnick kind of came in on originally and then got behind her in center field.
And if you're watching the screen there, you saw the very unique way the outfielders kind of depart to their positions.
In for a strike.
That last effort there looked kind of like some old-fashioned breakdancing. They do something different every inning. Very creative out there. Abby Hoffman, Jenna Minix, and Abby Madeir.
Ground ball, foul ball. And the count now at 0-2.
See, you're going to see it here. Now, if I tried that little right there, that part would break my lower spine, I think.
Would that be a reverse worm?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm old. I remember when we used to run out to your position and play the game, but I guess.
Another ground ball, foul ball. There's a little bit of just kind of loosening in the pen to stay warm right now for Marian, just in case needed.
That's actually, I think, a good idea. Good coaches will have somebody, you know, hey, don't go down there and warm up, but just go down there and kind of get loose a little bit. And we may not need you, but I'd rather, you know, have you and not need you than need you and not have you.
This one high. Tesner and Meyer, the 2 players that are down there just in case. Those 2 and Katie Lackman have been the 3 players that have all seen time in relief role this year. Hop to home plate, 2-2 the count.
Good at bat by Macy Dowd, and, you know, we'll see what this inning brings, but, I mean, Cohen's not really showing any signs at all of needing any help, but you might as well have him ready.
Ground ball, Green's got it. Has time to study the logo and then toss it over to first base. And there's one away.
She's got such great hands and so quick. And, you know, between games, her and one of the assistant coaches went out there and they were basically playing some blue dart where it was just like, coach wasn't even 50 feet away. She was hitting rockets at her, and she was just one-hopping them. Quick hands.
So here's Schott. It went back to Cohen her last time up.
And, you know, as a former coach, my first thought was, you know, while everyone else is eating snacks and getting ready for the section, she's out there fielding rockets. I like it.
Off speed, that it's sent foul. 1-1 the count.
So the kid out here working, her tail off between games is oddly enough one of the better players. Ain't that odd?
There's often a direct relationship there.
That's what I've been told.
Got the outside corner. Count it 1-2.
This is where, as a coach, you just like to see Macy just go after her. I know she is, this is a 4-hole and shot can hit a little bit, but challenge her.
Popped up and out of play. As the bells toll for 6 o'clock here on campus.
All right, so you challenged her there, and she fouled it off. So now you can get cute, the off-speed stuff or the stuff out of the zone. And every now and then you just got to say, look, here's my best. See what you can do with it.
Get off the hands and foul. The next NAIA National Softball ratings hit tomorrow. Every 2 weeks, Marian was number 11 in the country in the last ratings. Just off the plate, 2-2. The last poll, the team that came here and beat Marian last year was number 1, Southern Oregon. Strike 3 called. Cone now has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters she has faced. And she has retired 8 in a row. 2 down.
You mentioned that Southern Oregon squad, Greg. I believe I was here for some of those games.
You were.
Man, they were awful good. I mean, just really good. Loaded everywhere.
Here's Minnick. And that one, foul ball. And we saw one of their big rivals in Oregon Tech here for the basketball regional a couple of weeks ago. And Oregon Tech is currently rated number 2 in the latest softball poll. Minnick a single her last time up. Sends this one to center field, drifting back, but the park will hold it, and Minnick will snag it. And for a second consecutive inning, the side is retired and make it 9 in a row retired by Macy Cone. Halfway through this one, Marian leads at 5-0 on ISC.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Want to thank our friends First On Site, formerly More Restoration. They're here to help you power through whatever comes your way, from fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards. They have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights. Malone to the plate. And for a strike. All 5 runs coming in the bottom half of the second for Marian, looking for the doubleheader sweep. Olivia Stunkel got her 13th win of the season in game number 1 with no losses. Malone hops one to the left fielder. Leadoff hit. Third time in 4 innings, a leadoff runner has been aboard for Marian.
Gosh, how many times we said this, though? You get the leadoff hitter on, and here comes 1, 2, 3.
Hoppin has reached twice, has scored once. Pair of RBIs last time up for Hoffman. Runs batted in for Hoffman, number 25 and 26 of the season.
Like 2-0. Just want to unload here.
Tried to, but popped it straight up. One down.
Yeah, that's one of those things, you know, Greg, I used to tell kids, it's 2-0. You're looking for your favorite pitch, all right? And if you get it, please don't swing and miss or foul it off or whatever. You got to bust it. And she did not.
Here's Knox, couple of successful at-bats so far. Line drive, could be two. Yep, got her. Well, just poor timing for Marian. Knox made good contact, and not much that Malone could do at first base. So, in the blink of an eye, we're through 4. Marian maintains a 5-0 lead on ISC.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Ah, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Baseball game to our north is concluded. IU Kokomo gets the win over Marian by a score of 9-5. Here, Marian looks for the softball sweep. Took game 1 against St. Francis 7-3. Lead this one 5-0 going to the top of the 5th inning. Third baseman Green gobbles that one up from Smith. She's retired for a second time. It's up to H1 scores from elsewhere in the Crossroads League. Mount Vernon Nazarene wins at Spring Arbor 12-3. Grace beats Bethel 8-0. Huntington wins at Indiana Wesleyan 2-1. Taylor takes game 1 from Goshen 5-3. By the way, that Huntington winning against Indiana Wesleyan means that Marian is in first place in the Crossroads League. Foul ball. McCord popped up to the pitcher her last time through. 2 base runners so far for St. Francis in this one. A Dow double in the first, a Minnick single in the second. Almost an Ephus pitch that time.
Absolutely. That was a long, slow pitch there. Could have swung at that twice probably.
Two other halves or back halves of doubleheaders are in progress. Mount Vernon Nazarene leads at Spring Arbor in game 2, 3-1 top 4. Indiana Wesleyan leads against Huntington 1-0 after 1. Lifted. Park held it, but no player can get there in time. And the count remains 2-2. Well, Souder is starting to throw again in case she is needed to finish this one up for St. Francis. And this one will hit the top of the dugout or just get just past it. Or land in our lift.
Souvenir for some lucky fan.
Courtesy of our friends at McAllister. Good arm, Betsy. Charged into this one, but again, left fielder's got it. That's Hoffman, and there's 2 down. So Courtney Serber will come to the plate.
Courtney sporting the auxiliary uniform. The
several players have gone to that route for game 2.
The sweatshirt.
'Tis that time of year.
Yep, it's like, all right, Coach, I'll hit, but I'm going to be warm doing it. All right, get up there.
You'll notice a couple of Marian players doing the exact same thing.
Oh, I'm not mad at her. Look, I don't care.
It is currently 52 degrees in our fair city.
You can go up there dressed like the Bob Gregory kid. Just get a hit.
Tomorrow will be 78 degrees.
And we may be in the basement because of the severe weather. We may not see it.
Off the end of the bat. Good swing, but again, didn't completely barrel it up. Even with that, Cerber sent it to the warning track. But 3 fly ball outs, and again, make it 12 batters retired consecutively by Macy Cone. 5-0 through 4.5 on ISC.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Back to Marian University. Madeir, Wendt, and Meyer, 3, 4, and 5 to up this time through. Again, tomorrow, join us for Marian lacrosse. We're keeping our fingers crossed that we get a full broadcast in. For those that don't maybe follow that sport, Marian, a member of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference in lacrosse. They are rated number 7 in the country. Jim, that's one of the handful of sports where I go, I need to find somebody else to do the play-by-play. Thankfully, we've got a guy like Rick Johnston that I think calls more sports than I do on the staff, and he'll handle the lacrosse play-by-play tomorrow.
Yeah, man and a woman need to know their limitations, right? I mean, if you don't know the game, it probably helps to find somebody who does.
Off the end of the bat, first pitch swinging. Bione lobs it over to first base, and there's quickly one down. Well, she has now retired. 5 of the last 6 batters she has faced and got a line drive double play to make up for the one batter that reached. Here's Wendt, who has ground out twice in today's game. In for a strike.
Reminded Greg, a couple years ago, you asked me to do a volleyball game, and I explained to you that I really didn't know whether the ball was pumped with air or stuffed with feathers.
And I decided not to invite you to said game.
But I did provide you with Jean Kesterson.
And she has been a wonderful addition.
I said, I know somebody.
To the ISC Sports Network
yes.
staff.
And you said, oh, well, then send me her.
Popped up. Not been the best of days for Lily. She's had a phenomenal season. But she's now 0 for 3, and there's quickly 2 down. Here's Meyer. Singled her last time up.
You know, you had mentioned how Kennedy Bione has kind of settled down quite nicely. There was a flurry of activity in the Cougar bullpen for a while there, but they've all set down.
Just below the knees. And that misses. And Meyer with an easy walk, and first one of those that Bione has authored in her now 10 batters faced. 3 hits for Marian, but all really kind of the single variety. Here's Minix, who has reached twice, scored once.
Kennedy's going to step back of the circle, take a deep breath here, try to refocus.
Ball got away from the catcher. Meyer will advance to second. Heads up base running there.
Good aggressive base running, even, regardless of score and all that other stuff. Keep playing the game.
Talked about the impending weather forecast being no bueno. Storms tomorrow night, 67% chance of rain on Thursday, 98% chance of rain on Friday, and a 94% chance of rain on Saturday.
So runner in scoring position here if the Knights can get something hit to the outfield or to the right side. Hard, might be able to get another run across.
Minix was taken all the way on that one, and the thing will be true here is it's now 3-zip in her favor. Ball popped away from the catcher, but Meyer won't chance it.
So right about the time I say something nice about
right.
there,
She's pitching herself into a jam.
Thrown 8 consecutive bad ones.
Here's Green. Reached and scored in the second. Ground ball to the shortstop.
And this is the second time that Peyton Iliff has gone out to kind of calm her down a little bit.
In the win by Marian, game 1. Snapped what was a 7-game winning streak for St. Francis, including a win against Indiana Wesleyan. It's in for a strike. So whatever the advice that was given was good. Center fielder playing slightly to pull for Green. Kind of 2-1.
Haley Green with an opportunity to walk this thing off.
Green does not have a home run this year, but she is more than capable of depositing one atop and past the fence.
3-1's just like 2-0. Get your favorite pitch.
And lifts that one foul.
She got it. That had a lot of the plate. Just missed it.
Spoils that one too. Roop is on deck if it gets to her. Green, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Turns on this one. Will it drop? Yes. That'll score 1 run. Green will hustle into second base. Now the potential game-ending run is at second. Green's hit streak reaches 7 consecutive games and make it 6-0. Let's give Green an RBI. For Haley, her 5th double of the season. Belts high fastball for a strike. Marian trying to get Cone her 8th win of the season. A 6th complete game and a 3rd shutout.
Caroline Roop just looking for something to draw. Put it out there in the green grass and see if it'll drop.
Already has an RBI today. Just a bit low. 2-1. Malone, who's been tearing the cover off the ball, is on deck if it gets to her.
Well, I like actually what Coach Fleming did there. You almost have two leadoff hitters now.
A little high.
You have a very, very capable hitter in the 9 spot. And if they get on, then here comes 1, 2, 3.
Part of that is the depth of talent he has
Absolutely.
available on this team. Roop lifts this one, and first baseman makes the play, and the inning is over. So we will at least see the top of the 6th and into the bottom of the 6th in this one. Through 5, 6-0. Marian leads it on ISC.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
I love you.
Ah, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not. When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
In a very wise move, the tarp being placed on the baseball field. Knowing again the forecast that seemingly is imminent for the next few days. Knights are slated to be at home on Friday and Saturday, and that might be optimistic. I want to thank our friends at Spot. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark as a leading third-party logistics company in North America. Spot gives you the tools to tackle industry challenges for our partners. Here, initiative, drive, and teamwork form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. At Spot, we've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our success. Chart your own course today. Visit spotinc.com/careers. For more information, spotinc.com/careers. Spot is proud to partner with Marian University. This one lifted, left field. Park will hold it. Foul territory, but ranging over to make the play. And there is one down. And that is my turn that is getting some time in the outfield and made the play. That was Miller that was batting in Vigiano's spot. And there's one down. In for a strike. This is Ileff's spot in the lineup. 0 for 2 in this one. Again, 3-run homer. That has produced all the runs today for St. Francis in one swing. Ground ball, foul ball. Minix is now back to first base for Marian. And Hoffman has bumped over to center field. Mattern getting some run and left. Just a quick glance on the diamond. I don't think any other defensive changes for Marian other than that. Mattern's going to get tested again. Will the Park hold this one? The answer is no, but it's a foul ball. Just turned on that one. Count it 1-2. Green. Good stretch by Minix and got her foot back on the bag. 2 down.
Once again, just a great pick down there by Haley Green. Now the throw again was a little off, but nice job by Minix of reaching back and getting the bag there.
Great job by our camera crew to show that to you. They will asked the first base umpire to make sure he saw the exact same thing, the home plate umpire, that she saw what the first base umpire saw, and that is that the batter was out. And again, that angle, frankly, was not as definitive as the other one appeared to be.
Yeah, the field mic, though, picked up the home plate umpire saying, he said that the foot got back in time.
Which I would agree. Here's Robakowski. Just out of the zone. In Cohn's best outing of the season, best outings. 7 innings, scoreless, 5 hits against Mount Vernon Nazarene. This one turned, drifting again. And that's a home run. That stayed above the foul pole. So Robakowski does give St. Francis a mark here in this game. All their runs today generated from home runs. Robakowski, a solo blast to make it 6-1.
We're going to see the Carlton Fisk stay fair, stay fair. We're going to get a great shot of this thing.
Right call.
Yep, hits the, some people call it the foul pole, some people call it the fair pole. What it boils down to,
I think
if the ball hits it, it's a home run.
I think it frankly hit the baseball press box is what it hit.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Up against the base of it.
Okay.
Robakowski gets her 8th home run of the season. RBI number 30. Well, the shutout wiped away for Cohn. But to give you an idea as to how well she has pitched, that was the first runner to reach base for St. Francis since the 5th batter of this game. She still staked to a 5-run lead. Excuse me, swing that time by Dowd. Does have a double today. For Cohn, that is the 3rd home run she's allowed this year. Change up and a beauty. 1-2 the count.
Dowd, I think, just gave up on that pitch just a little bit.
Dowd lines this one. Foul ball just to the left. And the park would have held it, but that would have been extra bases. It was about a foot to the right.
Mackenzie Matter, who just recently entered the game, getting a little bit of a workout down there.
You put a defensive replacement in, the ball finds you every time, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Kind of 2-2. Had home run on just the 3rd hit of the game for St. Francis. Ground ball. Diving effort, Green couldn't get there. Base hit. So this is the first inning in which multiple runners have been aboard for St. Francis. And they came in 3rd in the conference. That's not going to change based on what happens today. The job is not done yet for the Knights. Here's Schott. Just a bit low. Schott struck out looking last time up. Hit a tapper back to the pitcher the time before that. Cohn, outstanding work. Good job to get out of the circle, field that ball, and end the inning. But St. Francis does plate their first run of the game. Now 6-1 Knights through 5.5. You're watching on ISC.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
I want to thank our friends at Hoagies and Hops. They have been serving Pennsylvania-style hoagies and cheesesteaks in Indianapolis now for a decade. They're located 5 minutes from campus at 42nd and Boulevard. Hoagies and Hops partners with Marian University, and they provide a 15% discount for all fans. Show your game day ticket, your Marian ID card for hours, menu, and location. Visit hoagiesandhops.com. Jim, have you been to Hoagies and Hops yet?
I have not, but you know what? I'm familiar with that neighborhood, and neighborhood that's kind of been revitalized in the last several years, and had no idea it was there. But the next time I'm in that area, I'll stop in.
Worth your time. I'm told our crew enjoyed lunch at Hoagies and Hops today. 9-1-2 coming up this time through. Malone, Hoffman, and Knox.
Now batting for the Knights, number 4, Allie Malone.
Malone again. Foul ball, just left the line. It's close.
Yeah, just not enough chalk down there to see whether sometimes you'll get that little puff of white smoke. Awfully close.
Yep. Frankly, the person that made the call had the best view of all of us. She said foul. In for a strike. Counted 0-2.
Souter, we've already talked about, was very effective in the first game, and obviously wants to come out here and duplicate that effort.
And the first baseman makes the play. Second consecutive out she has recorded in shot. And yes, Ellie Souter is on for a second consecutive game. She threw the last 3 innings of game number 1 and did so without giving up a run. She faced 12 batters in the last game, and she hopes to make that number, well, maybe 6 if her team can get a rally in the top of the 7th. Hoffman popped up to the first baseman her last time up.
Very close, I think, to going around on that thing. I know she was trying to get out of the way, but still.
Mm-hmm. Count of 2-1. So Hoffman seeing a third different pitcher in 4 plate appearances today. Played for one of the all-time great high school softball teams in the state at Roncalli. Again, reaches out for this one. Right fielder was playing shallow and makes the play, and there's 2 down. This is Knox's spot in the lineup, however. We'll see a pinch hitter here. Mystic Means, who is first team Crossroads League all-name team. Batting .522. That's off a hop, and that's safe because Schott couldn't make the play. That was a great play by Robakowski to even make that a play at first base. And Schott just goes, hey, that's my fault.
I wasn't sure Maines hit the bag, but she did.
She did, yep.
And she hit it twice.
Now batting for the Knights, number 11, Abby Madeir.
I just was watching the collision, and I didn't see the feet, so
Means will add to her hit total. She is now 13 for 24 on the season. Means does have 5 stolen bases as well. Mystic, a local product, a freshman from Lutheran High School. Ball got away from the catcher. 360 feet for Mystic. Badier swings through that one and misses.
Big old rip at it.
And one base hit earlier. Back in the 5-run second for Marian. Count of 2-2. So 5 pitchers have appeared in a game this season for the Cougars, and 4 of them have thrown today. Right center field. Center fielder was playing in. That will plate 1. Badier has 2. She might think 3. She'll stop right there. But Means will come around and score, and it's now 7-1 in favor of Marian.
Nice job just going where the pitch is. Don't try to pull the outside pitch. Great contact, good power. Found that right center field gap and won't hop the wall.
So we saw Maturn get a chance to run in the last game. She played left field. Now she gets a chance to hit. She is 1 of 7 this season. Off the end of the bat, first baseman's got it, and that will be the inning. But Marian gets back the run that they gave up in the top of the inning, and they've got 3 outs to prevent St. Francis from scoring 6. If they do so, they'll get a doubleheader sweep. Back for that in a moment on ISC.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
One final chance to thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you, Vince Morales, Alex Laverne, David Kahn, Charlie Hammock, Elijah Mash, Rob Lynch, Betsy Ramos, and Aaron Van Wolde. And this top of the 7th inning, the angle that you see right here is from the camera of Rob Lynch, who has been with us, for the better part of the last 9 years on the ISC Sports Network. This is going to be Rob's last game with us until we talk him out of retiring, which we tried to do for the last several months anyway. Hello there, Rob. This one misses low. 1-0 the count.
Well, Rob, I'll tell you, as a guy who is retired, there's times where I feel like I got to go get a full-time job just so I can get some rest. So don't think you're going to sit around and do nothing. We're going to put you to work.
This one turned foul. Rob has been in the Indianapolis area since he came to work at WTHR back in 1996. 40 years being a sports photographer. First working in television, news, and sports. And we have been lucky enough to have his services exclusively for the last several years. And I get to say this in a lot of different ways and a lot of different times, as this one is sprayed foul. When you are the primary voice of an outlet like this one, you tend to be the person that is recognized and get the credit, get the blame, et cetera. But there are so many great people behind the scenes, and Rob is at the top of that list. And my guess would be, as the count now here is 1-2, and this one again is sprayed foul, that if we counted all the games that Rob has been a part of on ISC, it's probably in the 600 to 700 range at this point, because he's been involved in so many of them. So we cannot thank him enough for what he has meant to us on ISC over the part of this last decade. Maturn with the play in left field, and Minnick is retired. There's one down.
Well, in all seriousness, you just got to find something you love to do, something you do for free, and then go out there. And
you mean we had to pay him?
Well, I was going to say, well, whatever his hobby is.
Oh, okay.
And then just do as much of that as you can. And, you know, people say, well, you know, I'm retired, I'm bored. Well, I'm not. And hopefully Rob won't be either.
Here's Lillian Pierce. First time we have called her name today. She's batting .281. Has a home run and 7 runs batted in, does Lillian. Freshman from Leo High School. Ground ball foul, and
you know, Greg, we started this doubleheader with some sunshine, but those seems like a long time ago.
We may not see that again for a few days here in Indianapolis.
Skies have been gray for a long time, it seems like.
Strike call. Count of 1-2. Well, the shutout now is a thing of the past for Cone. And this would certainly go down as one of her better outings of the season. Knocks it down. Shortstop's got to play. 1-6-3. We'll make sure Cone's all right, but there's 2 down.
Yeah, you heard my reaction there. I normally try not to say anything when when you're making your call, but it's just like, oh, I hope she didn't get hurt there.
If Cone can get this next out, it would be the 5th time that she has thrown 7 complete innings in a game this year. Coach Fleming, you're going to say, hey, can we check her? Is she all right? And trainer will come out just to make sure.
One of those that you're probably going to feel a lot worse tomorrow. You know, the big bruise going to kind of rise up. And I mean, right now it's probably not fun, but.
Well, clearly you can tell that it hit her pitching hand.
Yeah, I thought it got her in the leg, but I guess it got her in the hand.
Are all 5 fingers working? It appears so.
And they're like, do you have any feeling? She's like, I haven't any feeling in my hand. It's so cold, I haven't had any feeling since the 3rd inning. Well, hadn't slowed me down yet.
Just winged her. Tried to get with the glove and couldn't get it in time.
They may let her throw a couple just to make sure she does have control.
It is McCord that is due up next. And in total, Cone going for her 6th complete game of the season. And her 8 wins, or 8th win rather, in 15 starts. She appears to be just fine.
Not to be lost is the nice play by the shortstop there.
Correct.
Playing the carom and getting the out.
Cone last year went 11-5, and an ERA of 2.92, and she is kind of trending in a very similar direction this season. After getting roughed up in her last 2 starts, this has been a very pleasant change for Marian.
And of course, the outfielders are out there working on their cartwheels. Very impressive. Kind of look like a little starburst. They were all standing right next to each other.
Baseball and softball are games of finding ways to creatively pass the time.
Well, I could do a cartwheel. I just don't want to. You believe that?
No.
Not me neither.
Pumps it in for a strike.
Actually, that sounds like it had a little more velocity on it than the pitches previous. That thing really popped the glove.
Cord 0 for 2 in this game, 1 for 3 with a run scored in game number 1. Liner, that'll get down for a base hit. So McCord has hits in both halves doubleheader. Now, Serber looking for her first base hit in what is 4 previous plate appearances today. St. Francis down to a final out. A little bit low.
Just going to pick it up and make a play.
And next time we will be here for softball will be April the 22nd, a doubleheader against Taylor. Tomorrow it's Marian Lacrosse against Madonna of Michigan. Marian currently tied for 2nd in the league lacrosse standings. Foul ball. There have been some hard hit foul balls the last couple of innings. Cone has now thrown 95 pitches in today's game. And obviously, we do not obsess over pitch counts in softball the way that we do in baseball. Center fielder drifting back, makes the play, and that is the game. Well, Marian gets a double-header sweep today. Take game 1, 7-3. Take game 2, 7-1. Jim, final thoughts on this one?
Well, we talked at the beginning, Greg, how these are two really good teams and fairly well balanced, and whoever won it was going to have to earn it. And I think that the Knights did that. St. Francis just not good luck at times. They would walk a kid or hit a kid, and then someone would get a double. So again, two well-played softball games. It was fun to be a part of it.
Marian now 25-5 on the season, and they bump their record to 15-3 in Crossroads League action. For our entire ISC Sports Network crew, especially our now retired buddy Rob Lynch, alongside Jim Leisure, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.